Social pressure comes into play in so many situations. If you're with a group of friends splitting a bill, you don't want to be the one who skimps on the tip. Everyone's watching, and no one wants to be the person who didn't pull their weight, even if it's just the server or bartender catching a glimpse of what you've left. There's this subtle awareness that your tip reflects your character. Tipping, in these moments, becomes a way to avoid judgment and maintain social harmony. Sure, it's driven partly by external expectations, but it's also about how you want to feel about yourself. Leaving a good tip isn't just about pleasing others, it's about walking away with the confidence that you've done the right thing. Social pressure might sound like a negative force, but it can also work in positive ways. It keeps us mindful of how our actions affect others, encouraging generosity even when it's optional. And while tipping may start as a response to social cues, the act itself often leaves both the giver and the recipient feeling good. At the end of the day, it's not just about avoiding looking bad, it's about showing up as your best self, especially when others are watching. And finally, there's guilt. Ever feel bad not tipping that friendly barista? Trust me, you're not alone. Tipping can sometimes feel less like a choice and more like a moral obligation, but not everyone tips the same way. In Japan, tipping is considered rude. Service workers take pride in doing their job well without expecting extra. Meanwhile, in European countries, service charges are often included in the bill, making tipping less of a dilemma. Compare that to the US, where we tip for everything, from taxi rides to haircuts to pizza deliveries. The cultural expectations can be overwhelming. So how did America become the land of tipping? Today, technology has transformed tipping. Those digital payment screens, they're designed to nudge you into tipping more. It's called choice architecture, and it's surprisingly effective. But not everyone's on board. Some argue tipping has gone too far, with gratuity requests popping up in places where service isn't personal, like takeout counters. Are we being guilt-tripped into tipping? Before we continue, remember that liking and subscribing to the channel goes a long way for supporting the channel. Don't forget to turn on post notifications as well, so you don't miss a single video. As automation enters the service industry, tipping faces an uncertain future. Will we still tip robots? Or could this be the push needed to abandon tipping altogether and adopt fair wages instead? The debate over tipping isn't just about money, it's about values. Should we reward exceptional service, or should everyone be guaranteed a living wage? The answer might depend on how much change we, as customers, are willing to demand. So the next time you tip, remember, it's not just a token of appreciation, it's a reflection of history, economics, and human psychology. What's your take on tipping? Let's hear it in the comments below.